All right, hi there. Good evening, Anissa. Thanks for waiting. We will begin the class now. Let me know, please, if you will be able to use the microphone today.
Hi, hopefully, good evening. Yes, I'm going to be able to use my microphone. I can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Anissa. So to start with the new course, I want to know if you have any questions about the previous course, any questions about Pearson for the previous course, because today we have to join the new course on Google Classroom. We have to assign the new right model for this new course. So any questions about A8, about the previous model, please let me know if you do.
About grammar, I think this um, past 2 weekends didn't have enough time to uh, mm, make a good review, but right now I think I don't have a specific question or something that it's in my mind right now, but yes, I think that's okay. I something that I really noticed in Pearson is that I don't have how can I say this? Um, mm, when I practice or when I practice the listening part and the difference between or recognize vowel sounds. I have troubles. Uh, it's difficult to me to differentiate the yes to realize or really um, try to understand the exercise, but not because of the I don't know how to interpret. Just it's more like my hair is not used to uh, make those kind of differentiations. Specifically with vowels, I have bad scores there,
Hey,
and I tried twice,
oh,
and I
no, it's
still
good that
have
you're
the.
telling me. Yeah, actually, that's a challenge, and that's actually one of the things. And perhaps, Danisa, I'm not telling you this because I don't want you to interpret this as you are not going to be able to recognize that never, all right? But actually, it's very, very common to have that difficulty in speaking and listening, all right, along the entire life of learning, all right? Some people are always going to have that difficulty. Some other people are going to be better, and some other people can understand, not understand, right? Can tell the difference, all right, quickly. And that's because of other factors, and it's not something that you always control. That refer mainly to other things related to even your childhood, okay? And how much access you had during childhood to different types of tones, to different types of vowels, or different types of, again, pitches. All right, because again, there is going to be many things that are going to influence that, that are going to make that harder. And even for some people, it seems impossible. I don't think for you it's going to be impossible. Why? Because of the way you speak, because of the way we communicate. And I noticed that you get that. All right. Some people are very, very, let's say, hard on understanding the way we have to move the mouth, express or make some vowel sounds. I noticed that you have that, okay? You have those vowels, but if you're having those difficulties, again, try practicing more often. Try to listen to those different words every single day. It's possible to improve, but again, if you don't get to recognize that, don't feel frustrated. You can still communicate with that those difficulties. But again, that goes beyond sometimes practice. But if you get to practice, all right, many months, and you're still like that, again, it's something else. But I believe that in your case, it is going to improve. All right, try. If you have some difficulties, I mean, you told me that you had some difficulties on listening and recognizing different vowels, right? And the difference between some open and closed vowels, because in Spanish, right, we only have five, let's say in total. But in English, you have a variation of
44.
more than 10, 12. You tell me?
And they say that you can use as I don't know, and 44 sounds related with vowels combinations.
Yes. It depends how you divide those two. The main division can be just up to 10 or 12. But if you divide that even into other categories, it can get further. 20, all right, and some people even divide that more and more. But what I can tell you again, Anita, is that the main division is going to be just the double of our vocabulary. That is going to be again 10 to 12. If you get to manage to understand first those 10 to 12 different vowels first, then you can go to the other ones, right? Remember, it's always a gradual process that is going to make that more understandable. All right, because again, if you go directly to the ones that are very, very difficult and are far from the vowels that we know, it's going to be harder. Okay, but keep trying again, keep trying. That's something again that we don't control. That depends a lot on the age at which we start learning a language. That depends a lot of how influenced you were throughout your life, right? Listening to different types of languages. Even music makes a lot of things over there. All right, so there are many things that can do those differences. But that's it again. And in case you have some difficulties in a different way related to that, remember that you can take a screenshot and we can try to practice that together as well.
We
And
can
I
practice all
believe
the
that is
activities
all
because
you have to do.
this model was awful or horrible. My scores are too low because I really didn't get uh, the sounds or retain the sounds. Oh, but very bad. So bad.
Keep practicing. And again, if you believe that I can do something there, because in those cases, it is mainly how much you have to repeat those sounds and how you have to start training your ear on, right, making a difference. The same as you're learning music, right? And then do you play any instruments or do you sing?
Uh, Not professionally, but
Okay. All right. Something that, for example, when you're learning music, professionally speaking, you can try learning some notes in a professional way. I mean, not professional way going to an academy or conservatory. I know perhaps you don't have the time, but on internet you have some more formal classes to recognize pitches, to recognize, for example, they call it intervals, or at a second, third, fourth interval. And some intervals, when they are close to one another, and I'm telling you this because this is one way of training your ear. If you train your ear in music, you're always going to be better in languages. All right. So what happens is if you go look for this, I'm going to give you, perhaps you know this. Okay, that's the name.
my
It's
guitar.
in the chat. Yeah, tell me,
But
Anita.
uh, I used to play guitar, but not how can I say, not reading the pentagram, just only reading acordes, no sé cómo se dice, charts.
Chorus.
Chords. Yes.
Right.
Uh,
Don't worry. Even if you do that, if you look for this, it's in the chat. Then it's an intervals, second minor and major. That's going to make you practice and recognize the difference in tone because they are very similar and they make you play, for example, the D, right? Or actually C, right? That C is this note, right? Between C and let's say, where's the? Sorry, I cannot find it. Give me a second. I'm going to change the language. All right. All right, C, C sharp, and the other one is going to be D. That is this one. All right. And again, I'm telling you that you can look for this on the internet if you want, because this is an alternative for improving your difference in tone. And again, this always has, let's say, secondary benefits. That is how you can recognize vowels, consonants in different languages. All right. Because by recognizing these changes that sometimes they seem to be easy, but if you look at the exercises you have on the internet on intervals for music, that's going to also prepare yourself to recognize those little changes that you have in the vowels. All right, because they are related to the pitch. All right, how open or close your mouth is, the frequency of that vowel, the frequency of that specific consonant, that is going to make it more, again, it's going to make it more accessible and easier to understand, all right? Try, if you want, try by practicing those elements. You have that on the internet. Practice intervals, second major, second minor, and that's going to be a plus. But again, the main thing that you have to do is listening to the two different vowels that you have to recognize, one after the other one, listen to words in which you have one or the other one, and it's just practicing, repeating, listening, practicing, repeating, listening. Yes, it can be difficult, but you have to be very repetitive on that. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so if you have any other elements, please let me know. What I'm going to do now, remember that you still have time to finish everything. Don't forget to finish all those details. I believe that it's until this Sunday, right? So as we are going to work on the assignments now, I'm going to ask you questions for this new unit. Um, All right, so we're going to start with very simple review as I see over there. Let's try to begin with the basic, please, Danita. What do you remember about the usage of the past continuous and the simple past, and when you use each of those elements? Remember, we couldn't practice that day, so that's something we're going to do today. How do you use it? When do you use the past continuous? When do you use the simple past? And in a story, when do you choose and how do you choose what tense is better, Danita?
Okay. Mm, you use a past continuous when you are trying to express that something was happening until another activity mm, interfere, and then you use simple past. I think that's the main idea. You can use um, two simple, two past continuous, um, or you can combine past continuous with simple past. And yes, I think that's what I can say right now.
All right, good. Yes. Which one is it better for context? Is it the simple past or the past continuous?
For context, for what kind of context?
For context in a story, for example, or for any type of context, because only one of them works for context in something that you're telling or you're saying in the past. Which one is it in this case?
I suppose simple past, because you're
All
not
right.
always trying to say yes.
Okay, and how would you use it? Let's try to use it in one short story, a very short story. And instead, try to tell me the context of that story, and then try to tell me the story. A very short one. It can be 20 seconds, 30 seconds. What do you have in mind?
Um, well, last week I was working on a project that I supposed to publish today, but Well, because my boss was traveling from Bolivia, I don't know.
Mhm.
I couldn't publish my report, and she asked me to make a video, a tutorial video, and I sent it today. And well, she is going to um, answer or give me her feedback uh, this this next Monday, you know, this Monday, and then I will be able to publish my report.
Right. Okay, good. Good. I think we're using again the tenses and everything in general correctly. Then I asked the question over there. What is the context in that story? What do you say?
I was trying to express something in the past and somehow that was linked with today. I don't know if
All right.
that's why, but
And how do you summarize in one phrase? In one phrase, what is the context? I mean, around the
I
story
can
that
hear
you
you
told me.
well, so it's
Yeah, can you
very
hear me? Let me know, please.
yes. I think my internet's logging, you know,
Lagging,
unstable.
yes, it's a little bit lagging or it's lagging or
Yes,
unstable. Yes. Uh-huh. But is it better now? Can you hear me better now?
yes, and just with a little echo, but I don't know if it's
Oh,
my
no, it should be
speaker.
mine. Let me check.
Okay. Mm, mm. Sorry for not turning on my camera, but I am really exhausted. And I have
No worries. I
um
think it should be better now than it says. Is my microphone better without the echo?
yes.
Okay, that's perfect. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. Yes, I get it. After working the whole day, it's always hard, and sometimes we're uncomfortable. It's different, right? In class, you have a lot of people over there, and I'm not right looking at you directly, but this is more personal, right? And I get that sometimes that can be uncomfortable. All right, so no worries about that. So, I'm just finishing assigning this. Then now everything is ready for you. I mean, the model C is now ready for you to complete it. It's available starting today, and you have until the 28th. Sorry, yes, the 28th. Sunday the 28th, sorry, Monday the 28th to finish everything. All right? Now, we can go and keep practicing. We were talking about the context, but let me know please if you can hear me good right now, if you have any problems with this. No?
I
Okay,
can hear you. Oh,
great. Now everything is set on Pearson. Again, if you get to have any questions, please let me know. Now, let's also in the chat. I don't know if you were able to join the class. Danitza, the link is in the chat to join the new course on Google Classroom.
okay.
All right, let's join that one as well. And remember that everything is there, including the practice document that we got, right? Here you have one with your name. So please, let's always have that ready whenever we're going to have our activities. Right now, I'm sharing this with you, but remember that that's available for you on the platform, okay? On Google Classroom, Unit 1, and it says Classwork All Units. And over there, you find the document with your name. All
Okay.
right, and the chat contains the link just in case. All right, but remember again, you don't need that link. You have direct access via the platform. Now, let's understand one more time. The idea that you were telling me is good, but if you analyze again, Perhaps I'm using the word context in a very general way and in a very grammatical way, because if you recognize the context of the story when you tell it, it is going to be actually this the past continuous, right? And not the simple past. Why? Because in your story, simple past is always something
Oh, I think it's my internet
what
still
you're
lagging. So
first.
maybe if you turn off your camera, this could be better. Yeah, right now I'm with my mobile data, datos móviles, but oh, okay, let's see. Hi, actually, okay,
We're going to
okay.
wait a moment. Perhaps like this is better. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. Just until it gets more stable, all right? Until it gets better, as soon as it improves, we are going to, well, share the screen again. So I was saying about the past continuous, right? I was telling you that usually the context is the past continuous, and the punctual actions that we use for sequence is the simple past, right? Because when you say, for example, it was Monday and I was walking on the street when I saw a cute dog, right? I approached the dog and I was petting him or her when I saw something else. Then I was looking at my phone when I realized that it was late. So the context in those cases are first that you were walking on the streets, then that you were looking at your phone, because that's what surrounds the next ideas. All right, so that's what we understand by context in these past stories. The past continuous is going to give the context. What was happening? It was raining, for example. And then what happened when I saw you, or when this started, and so on. All right, so with that logic, please, Danita, again, if you have questions about that, let me know, but I'm just giving a grammatical explanation of the context in past. Remember that in the previous activity, we couldn't work on your story, Danita. I don't know if by any chance you still have that story over there with you, or if you need some time to think of one. Let me know, please.
About my story. What story?
Yeah, it
What?
was. It was. Remember when you had problems with your internet and you had to leave,
Mm, yes,
right?
several
That
times.
day, yeah, that day we were working on a story, and it was not possible to work it with you because, well, we know why, right? You were not able to join again because of your
Oh, yes.
problems,
I
right?
remember,
So
but I don't remember this story.
don't
Do
worry.
you?
Yeah, no, I mean you have to give me one. It has to be
Okay.
yours.
Ah, yes.
That's why now, Danitza, you have to tell me a story for at least 1 minute and 30 seconds or for 2 minutes.
Mm,
Okay? I'm
okay.
going to use the timer, but to do it, I'm going to give you 1 minute to prepare yourself. Okay, don't write everything that you're going to tell me because that's going to be a waste of time. You're not going to finish everything in that time, and it's not going to be helpful. In these minutes, try to write some ideas that you are going to mention in your story. Right? You can write words, for example, street, dog, my friend, food, the cinema, and so on and so forth. Okay, so words that are going to guide your story, and you are sure that you're going to be speaking for 1 minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes. All right, I don't know if you have questions about that instruction, so I give you the 1 minute to prepare that story.
Okay. This story has to be. Um, I know. mm, I have to use any these any resources, I can say something like, for example, before related with present and past, or just only a story in the past.
It's good. I mean, it's not incorrect that you use other tenses, but it's advisable that you focus on a present, on sorry, on a past story. If you have to mention something in present and something in future, is correct. Okay, but only
Mhm.
percent of your story has to be in past. All right. And again, I think my connection or it was not clear. I don't know if you were able to hear that, Danitza.
Yes,
Let
yes, yes.
me know, please. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not going to share the screen now because it's very unstable, but I'm going to be controlling the time. I'm going to tell you when to stop right now. Okay? Now you only have to prepare your story. Okay? Don't say anything. Just write some details to tell me your story. All right?
Okay. Mm. Mhm.
Okay, now it's time. That was the minutes to get ready. Now, please, you are going to try to use the information that you get there, and we are going to improvise something over that. Okay, remember that most of the story has to be in past. That's the idea. Try to combine the past continuous with the simple past to make it more flexible, to make it natural. Try to use good connectors also to make that very fluid, all right, and not to make it something rigid and mechanical. And that's it. You can use the details that you want. You can use, again, expressions that you want as long as it makes sense and it's related to the story that you're telling. Okay, I don't know if you have any questions so that you can start now with that minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes of story. Let me know, please.
Mm, yes, well, I think I chose a very complex story. I hope you understand.
All right, no worries, no worries again. And remember, right, that the recommendations also for speaking, it's good that it's complex, but if it's complex, in order for you to feel more relaxed, not to get stressed if you don't find the words, remember that at the beginning, always try to make it simple. Even though it's complex, you can always try to make it simple. Right? Remember the tips for speaking, right? Don't try to use words that you don't know or you don't remember. Don't try to remember words at that moment. If you don't remember that as you're speaking, try to explain that in different words. Try to use synonyms. Try to look for alternatives. If you don't remember, don't get stressed. Don't get frustrated. Go to a different topic. Okay, you say all right. You can say, okay, I'm going to return to this right part of the story later, and you go to a different part perhaps. Okay, you can always say something, and it's good to be honest. But again, that's in order to avoid those negative things that you can feel as you don't remember. because that's the main thing that is going to stop you from continuing with your story in again fluent way. All right, and the idea is that you feel comfortable, that you don't get stressed, frustrated, that you have just what you need. And remember, there's always a different way to say that complex thing in other words. All right, so with those recommendations, we are going to begin. I don't know if you have any final questions, comments before.
No, I don't. I'm still finding words. Okay.
All right, good. Let's begin then, please. I'm going to control until 2 minutes. Okay, so you begin, please, Danitza, and I'm going to stop the timer when it's time.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to talk about was when I was at the university. Around 1 year before I graduated from university, I participated um, with I know engineers in a challenge related with uh, renewable energy, and the idea was that the team well, we have to present a hybrid mobile, and that well, the idea that was the competence was between other universities, and well, that was the idea. But the last uh, the last presentation was in I don't know, in a big area, like very far from the university, and that happened in in a weekend day. So I was just there watching the engineers doing their things, but then suddenly my friend called me, and he called to ask about mm, a pain or something that hurts him in her stomach. And I was with my professor, well, not my professor, the professor of the engineering boys. So in the engineering boys, and I told him that my friend was getting hurt in his stomach, and he talked with him with through my cell phone, and he told my friend to go immediately from emergency room to a hospital because he was getting appendicitis. The professor asked him other things related with the pain, but at the end was that my friend, he was alone in his home, and nobody could help him. So he just went to a hospital, and they, I don't know, uh, they treat him like an emergency, and the doctors, I don't know how can say this, exterior his, I don't know, the no, I can say this, I don't know if it's this, this, but the doctor extract something like, I don't know if it's pancreas, something like that. But the idea is that if my professor uh, uh, my professor um uh, I don't know, can I say I have lyrics. My professor didn't couldn't talk to him. He probably uh uh mm, he probably mm, I don't know, let me see this, the liquid on his stomach was supposed to, you know, damage other organs because the doctors clean some areas. And yes, they extract something, but I don't know why. But since then, he always talked to me like, to save my life, because even I'm not, my professor did the biggest part, but that was something impressive. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, yes. And I'm going to give you my feedback, okay, about everything. Thank you very much. I'm finishing with the last ideas. And good. All right. Now, I'm going to give you feedback, some corrections, and again, in general, yes. And again, remember the recommendations, right? Don't try to look for those specific words. And I think you were doing that, and it was great. There's always another way to explain something that is too complex. And remember that we don't always have the vocabulary, even in Spanish. When we're telling a story about something, for example, that happened at a hospital, and we are not right doctors, and we don't have the exact right terminology that we have to use and they use over there, that's also something we do in our native languages, right? We have to use, let's say, words that are just approximates to what we want to say, because we don't need to know, we don't have to know all the terminology, right? It's not logic, it's not always going to be possible, at least in any language, right? Now, again, in the story, then mainly my corrections, because again, I got to understand, but I'm just going to give you elements related to pronunciation, related to some words that seemed to be in present, but they had to be in past, and some words, all right? For example, you were saying, right, around 1 year ago, I graduated from university, right? But remember, in that case, it has to be clear that you say that you graduated, right? Not graduate only, but graduated. Okay, that's only pronunciation. Like, or approximately, right, 1 year ago, I graduated with that t at the end from university. All right, then I have to present, but you were telling something in past, right? So it has to be clear that it's had, right? I had to present, right, at the date for doing this and that. You were talking about those details. Then you were talking about your friend, right? You say my friend was getting hurt his stomach, right? But of course that's not correct. Okay, again, I'm going to give you the correction over there. It's good that you were able to pass that, and it's good that you don't complicate yourself with that. If you don't remember or you don't have the clear structure over there, say it in the way that you can. All right. So what you did was correct, but of course, grammatically speaking, it is not correct. So we don't say, right, my friend was getting hurt his stomach. We can say my friend's stomach was hurting, or my friend had a very strong stomach ache. Okay, something like that.
Uh, my friend's stomach was hurting. Yes, this is
Was
something
hurting.
like passive voice, something like that. This is that right, or something like that.
In the passive voice, that idea?
Yes.
Actually, not necessarily, because in this case, yeah, I mean, the idea is passive, but it's not grammatically speaking passive voice. Because to be passive voice, we need always the past participle. All right, and you're going to say the stomach was hurt, for example. That's passive voice. Okay, my friend's stomach was hurt, and that's passive voice because it was hurt by something else. But if you say that in active voice, that it's also good, you can say my friend's stomach was hurting. All right, or again, the best option is going to be my friend had a strong stomach ache. Okay, because remember that description is always going to be valid. It doesn't matter if it's stronger than a usual stomach ache. The idea that you say that it's a strong stomach ache is going to make it understandable that it's stronger than it usually is. All right, so one of those two options is better. But remember, to be passive voice, you always need the past participle. Like my friend's stomach was hurt, but in that case, that's not going to apply. Then, um, the pronunciation, remember, is going to be appendicitis, that he got appendicitis, close to that. Then you were talking about the verb, it was with extract, but as in graduate, you were mentioning that in past, but it sounded past present, right? It doesn't have to be extract. You have to say that the doctors extracted, right? They extracted, right, something from your friend's body, could be, okay, extracted in a surgical, let's say, procedure, right? And you can mention other details, but again, if you don't have the words, we don't have to use any words over there. Then also in one part you mentioned as a stomach, right? But you remember it's going to be k, right? Stomach, right? The stomach. There was liquid, right, from his stomach that was this and that. Okay, so k, only like. And then you said as the result of that, you used the present simple. You said since then, or since that time, something like that. He always talked to me, okay? And that's understandable, but it's not the best option. Why? What do you use when you talk about something that started in the past and continues into the present? Do you remember?
Present perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So since that time, since that experience, he's always talked to me, and you continue like that. All right, it's better. It's better in that way because in that's correct tense.
Since that experience.
Exactly, since that experience, since what happens, anything that you can say over there, okay? Since that situation, since that experience is what happened, comma, he has always talked to me, and I don't remember very well the next part, okay? Because I was just taking notes on the specific details, but it has to be he has always talked to me. Or he has always been like this and like that, okay? To make it clear that that experience in the past make him be in a different way now, and in that purpose or with that purpose we have to use the present perfect. All right. Good. Those are my general observations there. And again, the story was clear. Again, right? You sometimes we know that, and it happens for all right, all of us. We are never again going to remember all the exact words. And again, try to follow those recommendations. Don't try to get frustrated, stressed out. Don't try to stop over there until you find that word you're looking for. No, say it in a different way. If you don't find a different way to say that, try to say something else or go to a different part of your story. All right, you don't have to necessarily say that thing that you were thinking. It is better to improvise something else that is more simple than stopping there and trying to remember something that perhaps you want because of many different situations. The idea, of course, of practicing English is to be able to say anything you have in mind, all right, with different variations. But again, to be there and to do it like that, you first have to be fluent with everything that you got. All right, and again, if it has to be simple, if it has to be going back to something that you already mentioned and mention it in a different way, if it has to be by saying something else that you didn't plan, but you have to do it because you don't remember what you were going to say, or you don't remember the way in which you wanted to say that, again, say something else, all right? The idea again, and the main purpose, all right, for practicing like this is to always find a way to keep speaking. And of course, it has to make sense, right? I'm not saying that you're going to say nonsense and nonsense because, again, your story was very clear. But again, try to always take those recommendations into account and also these observations. All right. I don't know if you have any questions about that. We're just going to close by taking a look at very specific elements of the lesson. If I can share my screen, but let me know, please, Anita, in the meantime, if you have any questions or comments.
No, I think I don't have. Yes, something I noticed is that because something doesn't sound good, I just make for example, ed at the end of the words. Yeah, that's just put them away, and yes, of course, sounds like present, but I will try to improve.
Exactly. Sorry, I was sharing my screen, so I couldn't find the microphone. Yeah, and I mean, as you speak faster and faster over there, Danisa, of course, that's going to be less and less clear, right? As marked, as I'm telling you, in that purpose or with that, let's say, conjugation. So just again, my connection, I think, is not clear. Let me stop sharing my screen. Okay, so I'm going to just finish that idea. It's just that we are used to mentioning and pronouncing that ed at the end or those little details because, yes, they don't have to be as obvious, but they have to be there. And they're going to be less and less obvious because in order to be fluent in English, we have to omit many. Listen to them, and that's also part of practice listening. But again, it's different when it's there, but it's subtle, very subtle, than when it's not there. But that's it. I'm going to try to share my screen one more time, just a little bit of the presentation. Let me know, please, if you're going to be able to see my screen and if you can hear me without problems. We're just going to use 3 minutes to close the class with that. Okay, you're going to let me know, please.
Yes, I can. Not yet. Yes, right now. It's okay.
All right. And how can you hear me? Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Is it okay? Yes?
Okay.
Okay. Good. Now, look again. This is just because we practice this, and this is something that we did not long ago. So it has to be clear, and this has to be just a review. Let's remember that we use it in the way that you told me. That is, right? And it's not the same when you say, I was running last night at 8 p.m. than when you say, I ran last night at 8 p.m. And here we have, right, the difference explained. Something that was happening, as you told me, Danisa, and something that happened in a definite, specific time, as you also mentioned, right? This is the definition. We don't need to go over that because it's clear by what we did. This is the formula. We also know this, right? I, he, she, it was, we, they were. That's very basic, but again, just in case you have the formulas over there. And we have the idea that you told me also that it's something that was happening and something interferes with that action. Something interrupts that action, right? You mentioned the word interfere and it was correct. Okay, interfering the action or interrupting the action is going to be clear in this context, right? Something that is in progress and something that interrupts, interferes, or just happens, right? In that specific case. The formulas that you were also using, that we know also how to use them because we practice that in writing in some situations. And again, tell a story. That is what you did and what I did in that class. I don't know if you were able to hear that in that class, but I gave you an example, and my example started with a story. Okay, I was walking on the street when I saw this. It was raining when I decided to go there, and so on and so forth. And we already worked with this, Danita, right? With told the story, and we were able to work on that element. Okay, I just wanted you to see the presentation to see that it's everything that we practiced, not only in, well, this class, because we use part of the class for clarifying other details, for Pearson and some other elements, but that was the lesson for today, and the practice was this, well, story that you told me and the feedback that I gave. I don't know if you have any questions about the elements that I showed in the presentation, that again is very short and it's just related to that, or to anything related to this lesson or to today's practice. Let me know, please.
No, I don't have questions.
Good. Now again, today also was a little bit, well, not as usual, right, the class, because of the problems with the connection. I was not able to share my screen all the time, also my camera, but I hope, well, actually, I know, right, we're going to be able to work as usual on Monday. But that's it. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to share the poll with you that you can see over there. That was the very first lesson, that it was just a review of something we did on A8. Don't forget, please, to work on the last elements this weekend, and I'll see you on Monday to continue working. All right? Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend, Benita.
Thank you. Have a good weekend too.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.